Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So today, we're out with the KRX and we're gonna give it some more protection. I mean, come on, who doesn't need more protection? So what are we doing? Well, like you saw in the thumbnail, we're gonna install this. This is from Class 1 Motorsports, and this is a transmission belly pan skid plate. I don't actually know what this is called, but what it is a piece of 60-61 1/4-inch thick aluminum, and it goes on the bottom of your KRX. So why did I choose this brand and not other brands out there? Well, there are other brands, just so you know. Some are steel, some are aluminum. There's knockoff brands on eBay. There's some other name brands out there. I went with this one because it's just a little bit longer than the other ones. And it's about 31.5 inches. So it goes farther back to protect more of your engine area. So those of you not familiar with my KRX, it is a 2021 and I am running 1/2 inch UHMW trail armor skid plates. I think that's what they are. I know they're the 1/2 inch. So what this will do is this will go between the skid plate and the factory belly pan. Now, does everyone need this? Absolutely not. Who should look into getting this? Because it's really personal preference. Well, it's the people who drive in the rocks, whether you're Moab or you're back east and you're doing riverbeds, or you're in the woods where you got stuff jamming against the bottom of your machine. Now, I haven't had any issues yet, but we're gonna go ahead and look at that because I haven't actually pulled my skid plates. So we're gonna have to pull the rear of this down to install it. It should be pretty straightforward. But why would you put this on there? Well, this is to protect your transmission or your oil pan at the bottom. Even though the KRX comes with a thin piece of sheet metal, you can still puncture or dent that enough to crack or put a hole in your oil pan. Now, I do have one person I go ride with, they'll be in Moab with me here in the next couple weeks, that it's actually happened to him while he was in Moab the first time with his KRX. Fortunate he caught that enough, or early enough, that we could stop the machine. They towed it off, and I believe he had it welded up and then replaced it later on when we got back home. But apparently it happens often enough to where Brute Performance, they actually carry the oil pans in stock last time I looked. So that should tell you that it's happened enough and they've started making these pans for this reason. Now if you're running, Forest Service roads or just around the farm, not getting the rocks or the tree branches, maybe you don't need it. But I'm gonna put it on here just in case. So how does this go on? Well, I haven't actually installed it, but you need just a couple of tools. First of all, if you look at it, it can go on two ways. So there's only one correct way. You see the holes. These are gonna line up with your rear differential and the engine oil drain bolts. So it'll go up. And then if you look, you got these holes here, all the way around. Those are the holes where your skid plate already bolts up into your machine. So it should be as simple as dropping the back part of the skid plate, sliding this in there, lining it up. So you just have to make sure that it either goes this way or that it goes this way, that these holes here are lined up. Now, what tools do you need? I do have a few friends that are running this one. I have some friends that are running the Mark Motorsports ones. Nothing wrong with either of them. But they said in this one, you will need a floor jack right here to help kind of massage or bend this up. There is a slight bend back here because this one goes so much farther forward. Also, you'll need a 10mm ratchet. I have my good old-fashioned Milwaukee so that you can drop the self-tapping screws or the bolts that are in there. Other than that, I'm also going to use a creeper so I can just slide underneath there. So let's go ahead. Let's start dropping bolts. Let's see if mine's even dented. I know a lot of people have dented their sides, the boat sides, even with aftermarket skid plates, because they can only distribute so much of that hit. So let's get underneath this and see what it looks like. All right, let's come under here. And these are the bolts that we're gonna end up taking out. If you look, that skid plate goes all the way up over here. Which if I come around to the passenger side, those bolts are right there. So you're going to protect the whole engine. And if I'm not mistaken, the other skid plates stop somewhere back in this area. I could be wrong, but this one's gonna come all the way up to here, so you have to take all those bolts out. So yes, I am wearing my sunglasses because I cannot find my clear safety glasses. But let's go ahead and peek up above this and see if it's damaged. Okay, let's look in here. Other than lots of dirt, debris, some rocks, I do see this area right here is fairly dented. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up or not. So other than that one dent, it looks like it's about the size of a softball. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna get this cleaned up real quick. We'll slide that pan in there, and this should be a fairly easy install. I lightly dusted it. It's still dirty. I'm not OCD on it. It's dirt from California, Arizona, Utah, wherever. So if you look, these holes are off center. If you look here, this hole's off center on both of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in, and we'll get it bolted up. This is where your jack's gonna come in handy holding this up, but I'll also show you why. Let me grab this camera. Okay, looking down in here, if I go to lift this plate, as you can see, there's a gap there, but it's touching. So we're gonna start putting the bolts in from the back, use the jack to push up. Let me get the first 3 started, and I'll show you where we're at. So this install's honestly pretty easy as I'm going along. So what jack am I using? I haven't talked about this too much. I picked this up a few months ago. I had to wait like 3 months to get it. It's a very hard jack to get. Some stores are now carrying them in stock because it's not as popular as they start to fulfill orders, but it is the Badlands off-road jack. Right here, I won't go too far into it, but this is an awesome jack. So this piece can go up and down, as you can see right there, but you can put it fully collapsed. Take these off. It comes with the Allen head right there, and it will go right in here, and then you have a nice carrying handle. So this is also over here, which will right into the bottom of that, and then to move it around, you have this right here. So this locks your handle in, but as you go down, it clicks in. So you can see it goes over bumps. Then you move it this way, and then this handle will come off right here and right here. All in all, really nice jack. I used it on my Jeep. I've used it on this. Probably the best bang for the buck. Now, you can get a 3-ton jack, much cheaper. You can put blocks of wood. I really like how this one's assembled and how it collapses down. So if you need to take it somewhere with you, you can. It is not overly light, but compared to the alternative, you know, these ones are about 300 bucks. The alternative is what, 600? So I think Harbor Freight did a really good job on this jack. So my only issue with the jack is honestly, it's not the weight, it's not too bad. It's that it's slow. You jack it up, this doesn't go as fast as some of my other floor jacks. I have 2 other floor jacks and an ATV jack, but it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, it's a great product. So let's get back to the install. Let's use this jack to help bend this aluminum. I knew this was gonna be kind of an issue with the aluminum because it's completely flat, but aluminum bends. So this will be a nice transmission pan. Let's get back to that. So I'll get this under. Just gonna jack this up a little bit. There we go. As you can see, it's nice and flat over there. And then this one requires the self-tappers. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them all down. Now that this side's screwed in, let's go to the other side. Far 3 screws are done. The next 2 side ones are done. I'm down to the last 2 screws. This is where you really need your jack. You could probably get away with not using it until now, but man, it makes it a lot easier. So here's my gap. Right there. There's the screw hole. So I'm gonna place this jack right here, see if we can get it to jack up. It probably would have been better if I had come back to like right here, drew a straight line, and then taken a saw or something and scored it so it would bend easier. But again, it's aluminum. Let's see how well this 3-ton jack works. So I got the last 2 hand started here. I've whacked it a couple times with the hammer, pretty hard, just to try to get the metal to go. Let's get it tightened up. Let's let her down and see what she does. Okay, nice. Just look at the final product right here. It looks good. As you can see, or I can't see, it is not straight. That's what 4-jack. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. So what do I have to say about the product? Well, it's a piece of aluminum. I mean, there's not much more there other than a piece of aluminum. So what I can say is all the holes are lined up perfect. No issues, everything lined up, pretty self-explanatory. The one downside to this versus some of the others is you do need some sort of a jack like I have here. You know, I did that little mini review on this Badlands jack, super handy, but you could really use any jack with a block of wood if it doesn't go high enough. I really did pick up the back tires to get that back piece to bend, but when they mailed this, it was literally a piece of aluminum, just like you saw, and they stuck the shipping label on it. So could you make this yourself? Absolutely. Not real hard. You just need to use your trail armor skid plates, and you could use those as a template. This is obviously much easier to use, and it comes pre-cut, and it uses all the hardware that I already had on there. So would I get it again? Absolutely. How's it going to hold up? We'll see. I got Moab in a few weeks. I only had that one dent. My biggest concern is those back two bolts. They're tiny threads, and I know they're threaded out there, but there's a lot of stress on that piece of aluminum trying to go back. You know, metal has a memory, so I did whack it a few times with a dead blow hammer. We'll see, but anyways, super easy install. I did have some other stuff I was going to install in this video today, and I didn't order it. I had actually looked at Motorsports. They have the really nice, I don't know if you want to call them rock sliders, tree kickers, whatever you call them, but it's got the steel that goes underneath, and it removes this piece of plastic right here. I thought I ordered those on their Labor Day sale, and apparently I did not. So I don't have time to get them before I go to Moab. We're gonna go like this again. Not a big issue. I am kind of concerned to see what it looks like underneath there, but not too bad. I think I got time to replace the trailing arm skids. Trail armor's pretty quick on shipping that stuff. I've got one more video on this before I go to Moab, and we'll do a couple more small upgrades, but basically it's the last prep, and I'll show you what I take for my Moab trip. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and until next time.